Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today I want to show you how to make some vegan and gluten-free carrot cake squares with a cashew-based frosting on top. And then I thought we'd switch it up a little and have a fika together. And a fika is a Swedish word that means to sort of have tea or coffee and some cake or sandwich and chat. So that's my intention. That's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna answer some of the questions you asked me. I saw on my vlog that there were quite a few questions popping up, and I also asked on Instagram for some more. So I have quite a few questions. We'll see how many I get the chance to answer, but I'm looking forward to chatting a little bit to you. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. But first we're gonna make the cake. Okay, so I've set up a little FIKA situation here. If you can hear some sawing noises in the background, I'm sorry, they're doing some work in our courtyard. But yeah, I've set up my FIKA. I've got some tea. I've got fennel tea, it's my favorite. I've got my carrot cake squares, which are really yummy, and I hope you will try them at home as well. And yeah, I thought I'd answer some questions. I've got about 25 questions from you guys, so I will try and answer them quickly, and I hope I can get through all of them without making this video really long. And I think Rob's gonna read me the questions, and we'll see. Maybe I'll cut out his voice later if it just sounds naff. We will see, and you shall tell in just a few seconds. And yeah, I'm gonna try and eat this cake while talking, but I have a feeling I'm not, because I'm a chewer, and if I take a bite, I'm gonna chew for about 30 seconds, and you'll have to just watch me chew. So maybe I'll just stick to my tea, and I'm ready for some questions. Rob? So how old am I? I am 29 years old, and I turn 30 in the next month. I studied dance first practically, but I injured my back, so I finished my bachelor degree in theater studies, so I studied dance theoretically. Oh, so I actually don't have dogs, and this is a question that I got so many times in my last vlog, and I thought I must just bring this up. We don't have a dog. The dogs you've seen in my vlogs are actually my sisters and my sister's dads. We're half siblings, and we have dogs at them many times, and yeah, so they're not my dogs. But I would like to have a dog, maybe in the future. So Rob and I, we have done a lot of video work and photography as well for other companies, and we try to keep this going, but yeah, we need to get better at that. But that's my other job besides doing social media. The quick answer to that is no. I earn some money from doing this, but I'm quite picky with the collaborations I do, and I don't have a huge following like many others in my field, so yeah, it's just no, I can't live off it yet. I think this is really tricky because I have a hard time staying motivated, but for me it's really good to have routines, to just do the work, get up at the same time every morning, and have a routine in the morning, get started by a certain time, and then just do the work. And to stay connected, I think in what I do, it's really nice to have other people doing the similar thing on social media, because you can chat a lot to them. But I think you also just have to prioritize seeing your friends, even though when you work from home or you have your own business, can take up a lot of time. You just have to prioritize scheduling and seeing your friends. Yeah.
Eat some cake now.
I'll eat some cake. Okay, ask me the next question.
How do you stay positive?
So, I'm gonna talk and chew at the same time then. So, this is a little bit connected to the last question, because for me, routines are really important to stay positive. And actually, I should first say that I'm not that positive that often. I try to be, but I think I'm more prone to being quite negative and skeptical. But I try to be positive, and for me it really helps to have a good routine. So I stick to that, or I try to, and it really helps me to do yoga. It sort of settles my mind, and yeah, gives me a more positive outlook and a sort of come what may attitude to things, and I just deal with things better when I have a good yoga practice, so that really helps me. So I've been vegan, I think now for 5.5 years. Is it, Rob?
Yeah.
I think it's 5.5 years. It was June, sort of five or 6 years ago that I went vegan. So this is a bit complicated. At first, it was like a combination at first from having some stomach issues that meant that I couldn't eat certain foods like dairy and eggs, and Rob being a vegetarian. So those two combined sort of meant that we ate vegan food at home all the time, because that combination just made a vegan diet. But then I saw some documentaries and some speeches on YouTube. I can link them below if you're interested. And it really made me think about how animals are treated in the food system, and I just didn't want to take part in that. So then it was a conscious decision to just cut out all animal products from my diet and my lifestyle as well. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Maybe, yeah, no, I think they were. My sister has been vegetarian and vegan since she was really young, so I think that helped me in terms of my mom and my sister. They were really supportive and they didn't really mind at all. My dad was maybe, I don't think he really cared. He maybe doesn't understand still necessarily, but he's happy to try things, and I think my friends were good with it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Luckily, I was lucky that way, yeah. When eating out as a vegan, I think it's good to search online before you just pop down to the high street and try to find somewhere, because you want to have a good eating experience. I think when you go out to eat, you want to, you know, if you're going to spend a lot of money on food, you want it to be a good experience. So I usually search online for places, and I use an app called Happy Cow, which is really useful. It has basically every vegan and vegetarian eatery on the app, or I think you can also use it in your browser. And that way you can see lots of different places in the area you're in, and there's also reviews on there so you can check if it suits you. So that's my top tip for eating out. Otherwise, order from the sides. If you're going to a place that doesn't have that many vegan options or any vegan options, usually you can order from the sides and make a meal from the sides, like French fries and steamed veg and I don't know, you know, whatever's on there. They usually have some vegan options. Our go-to quick meals, I would say, are different types of pasta and ramen noodle soup with, like, I add a lot of frozen veg into the broth so it's more filling. And we make dal a lot. We eat lots of leftovers. That's the best quick meal you can get, is just reheating your leftovers. So making a big batch of whatever you're making and then just heating the leftovers, I think. But yeah, dal, pasta with tomato sauce or with green sauce that I make, which is pretty quick. I can link that below as well. Salad is actually the best quick meal, because you just chop things up, maybe add some rinsed and drained chickpeas in there, and you have a good meal. Yeah, salads are actually the best quick meal, I think. So I actually don't bake that much, because I am gluten intolerant, and I don't find it that much fun to bake gluten-free things usually. But I would say some sort of chocolate mud cakey. In Swedish we would call it kladdkaka, some sort of sticky chocolate cake, and usually quite flat like this. I'm not the best like layer cake person, so yeah, I would say that. I can link a recipe to that below as well. So here I think I don't quite know, something that you have mastered, I would say. Some dish that you think is delicious and that you've mastered and you do it really well. I'd say is your best bet to impress a meat eater. With some eaters, it's good to make some food that still seems like it's meat, you know, using some soy mince or stuff like that. But for other people, it's better to do something that doesn't emulate meat at all, because I think there are two camps among the meat eaters. I don't know how to express myself. Like people that really like that meaty kind of texture, and they find it's missing if they don't have it on their plate. Then it's good to emulate a meat dish. But for other people who just don't see the point in eating fake meat, then you have to just go with whatever dish that you know that's vegan, that you do really well and you think tastes really good, I would say. So I obviously take B12. All vegans need to take B12. And then in the winter months or like the dark season, I take vitamin D. And I also take probiotics because I have a very sensitive stomach. And what else? I take chlorella. It's an algae. I think it's good for you. So those are the ones I take the most regularly. And then sometimes I take a multivitamin. But I should really be better at taking my supplements regularly. I'm not the best. But I do stay on top of the B12. And I eat fortified foods as well that have B12 and vitamin D and calcium as well. So some plant milks and nutritional yeast, things like that. Actually, I also take omega-3 supplement from algae, made from algae as well. Next. So I don't actually take protein or eat or consume protein powders really. When we have done, when I've exercised a lot, things like that, then we've used pea protein powder. I think it's meant to be quite easily absorbed. But I don't find that I need protein powder on a daily basis. And I think most people don't. If you eat a varied diet, you make sure you eat lentils and beans and tofu and nuts and seeds, grains. Then usually if you eat a big enough amount of food, if you eat the calories you need, then usually you don't need to supplement with protein. But yeah, when we've used pea protein. But yeah, I'd say most people don't necessarily need it. Maybe if you exercise a lot, it's good, or if you don't eat beans and stuff like that. It's hard to choose one kitchen tool. I guess a good knife. A good knife is like the one tool you need to cook, really. And then appliances. I love our Vitamix. It does everything for you, basically. And I like a little lemon squeezer, but that's more like a fun thing. But I'd say my favorite appliance is the Vitamix. And for tools, I think you need a good knife to be cooking.
What about that stick blender?
Yeah, yeah, maybe over the Vitamixes. We have the stick blender that has a little tub that you can connect the stick blender to, and I use that to make hummus and bean dips and other dips as well. And obviously the stick blender is really useful for like soups and even to make pastes, and you can make smoothies with that as well. So maybe that's more useful than a Vitamix if you were just gonna buy one appliance, and it's much cheaper as well. Well, we used to live in the countryside before, so it's very different to live in a city. So it's nice to have shops around, more opportunities to go to markets to buy fruits and veggies, which means that you can buy more package-free stuff. We have a zero waste store just around the corner, which I think is really cool. It means I can choose where I buy things more carefully. I enjoy well, about Malmö specifically, it's nice that it's by the sea, you have the coast, you can walk on the beach. It's close to Copenhagen, so you feel like you have two cities in one almost. Yeah, and it's a nice vibe. People are quite relaxed here, I think. It doesn't feel hectic like many, I mean, in Sweden, Malmö is considered like a big city. It's not that big if you compare to other countries, but like other big cities are usually very hectic, and yeah, it's nice. It's quite relaxed here. Ooh, well, the zero waste shop I really like. I think it's really cool that we have that here. It's called Gram. Other than that, for like homewares and things like that, I like the shop called AB Småland. But I haven't been to that many shops in Malmö, so maybe I'm missing out on something. If you think I should go somewhere, comment down below. Ooh, I don't know. I would probably take Rob. If it's a Friday, I would take Rob to eat donuts. And we usually go to Flax, which is a cafe close by, which is really nice. It's run by two urban farmers here in Malmö. And I'd probably have a nice walk on the beach. I really enjoy going down to the sea and walking down there. Yeah, what else? What else do I like to do? Nothing apparently. I guess those are the two things I would do. I like to go and look in Småland as well, look at all the plants and the homewares. It's fun. But yeah, maybe those three things.
Museum.
Yeah, maybe a museum. We do enjoy the Modern Art Museum here in Malmö. It's quite small, but it's nice. So maybe we'd go there. Yeah. Yes. I do in one way, and in another way I'm enjoying living in the city. I miss having a garden. I miss being close to nature. Yeah. And I also miss the community I had in the village we lived, which really was, I feel it was very good for me. But yeah, maybe I just need to work on getting a community here in Malmö as well, and I would feel that was more covered. But I do miss our garden. I miss being close to nature. Yeah. So Rob actually taught me how to use a DSLR camera, and yeah, then I just practiced a lot. I think to be a good photographer and also to learn how to style photographs, especially if you're photographing food, I think it's just a lot of practice, and also watching or looking at other people's work to see what you like and to learn about composition. But I'd say Skillshare, which I've had as a sponsor here on my channel, they have lots of tutorials on styling and also how to use, hardware, software, and to be a better photographer or videographer if that's something you want. And for beginners, I'd say it's just all about, well, learning the basics, how to use your tools so that you know what you're doing, and then just practice a lot. Practice lots. Yeah. Okay, so I'd already answered this a little bit. You can definitely find lots of tutorials and classes on Skillshare. You can also find lots of classes and tutorials on YouTube. Here on YouTube. And there are also books. What's that book you liked about light and exposure or something, Rob?
Oh, there's lots of books.
Okay. Well, go to the library. It's cheaper. You can borrow a book. You don't have to buy it. If I figure out which one Rob always recommends, I'll link it in the description box. Other than that, resources. It's good to use. I don't know. Maybe we'll leave it at that. Try Skillshare or find people here on YouTube who do tutorials. You can learn lots on these two platforms. I think this is funny to talk about, but I guess it's good. In the morning, I wash my face with water, warm water. Then I put a toner onto my skin. Well, I dry it and then I put a toner, and I just actually have a very basic toner from a pharmacy here in Sweden, so it's nothing fancy or that interesting. The best toner I've ever used though was made by my friend Agata. I can link her down below, but I don't think she shares her recipe, but that's really natural, made with herbs. So yeah, I like natural skincare like that. It works well. And then I put a moisturizer on, and I use Sukin. It's an Australian brand. It's it's vegan, and it's I think quite natural ingredients. I'm not sure I'm being 100% truthful, but I think so. And it's quite affordable, so I use that. I put that on, and in the evening I wash my face with a cleanser from a Swedish brand called Maria Åkerberg, something like that. It's a female name. I can link that down below. And it's like a cream cleanser, so you put it on a dry face, and if I have makeup on, I use a muslin cloth with a like towel style cloth on one side and a muslin cloth on the other side. So around my eyes I use the towel thing to remove the makeup, and then I use the muslin cloth on the rest of my face, which is like a bit of a peeling as well. And then I dry my face and I put the same moisturizer on. And then I just repeat that every day. I never sleep with makeup also. Yes, I can, is the quick answer to that. At the moment, I don't really have good routines. We still working out how it is to live here and how it is to be back on YouTube making videos and trying to get our work in order. But maybe I can share a video of me getting myself together and working on a routine that I want to have. That I can share. Yeah. I think it's nice to live in Sweden, but I've lived here most of my life. It's quite cold in the winter months and dark, so you have to keep that in mind. And I'd say people are not the warmest, but then maybe students are more open-minded to meet new people. But I find in general Swedish people are not the most open and warm. But if you get to know them, they're really good friends. I would recommend studying here. I studied in Stockholm for a couple of years and I really enjoyed it at the university there. So yeah, I'd recommend it.
That's it.
That was it?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the last one?
Mm-hmm.
That felt quicker than I thought. Maybe it wasn't. I hope you enjoyed this little Q&A. I should maybe actually have some fika. I'm definitely gonna finish this cake now, don't worry, and drink some more tea. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope I answered your question. If I didn't, maybe you can ask some more below and we can do this again sometime soon. And yeah, it was nice to chat a little bit and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye!